What's up, guys? Today I wanted to quickly go over the biggest matchups in college football today and a guide of the Bears' early draft targets to keep an eye on. Today is a big day in college football with some prime time matchups. Let's get right into it. Not wasting any time, the biggest matchup of the day and an early contender for game of the year is Georgia at Alabama, two top 5 ranked teams and two of the best teams in the country almost every year. These two teams have combined to win 4 of the last 7 national championships. One of these teams almost always wins the SEC, and both teams are major powerhouses. This game starts tonight at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central on ESPN, and there are going to be NFL draft prospects all over the field on both sides of the ball. I expect Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham will most likely be at this game. There's just too much draft talent to miss, especially when you consider our needs on the offensive line. This one is huge. You have two of the best offensive lines in the entire nation. We got two really good centers in this one, Parker Brailsford from Alabama and Jared Wilson from Georgia, and then multiple guard prospects that should be drafted early in next year's draft. Georgia's Tate Rutledge and Bama's Tyler Booker both have first-round upside. They are two of the best guards in the entire nation. But that's not all. Bama has another guard that's really highly rated, Jaden Roberts, and a sophomore left tackle with a ton of talent in Caden Proctor. And then Georgia also has another highly rated guard, Dylan Fairchild, and tackle Ernest Green as well. Also a couple of really good running backs to keep an eye on in this one. Trevor Etienne at Georgia is definitely one to watch. Also a ton of talent on the defensive line as well, making this probably one of the biggest trench battles of the year. Michael Williams and Nazir Stackhouse at Georgia, and Quay Robinson, Damon Payne Jr., and Tim Smith for Bama. This is a matchup for the ages when it comes to the trenches, and no games feature more NFL draft talent than this one. I consider it a much watch for college football and NFL draft fans alike. But that's not the only big-time matchup across college football today. I wanted to quickly show you what else is on the slate. The early games feature Oklahoma State versus Kansas State. One of these teams could be eliminated from playoff contention with a loss. Ole Miss and Michigan also play early. In the afternoon, there are a few games to check out. Arch Manning will be starting another game for Texas, USC taking on Wisconsin, and Louisville battling Notre Dame. The best of the best is tonight, though. Not only Bama and Georgia, but also my second most anticipated game of the week as well, Illinois at Penn State. This one will be fun, and Ohio State plays Michigan State tonight as well. I'll go ahead and show a couple of the players I will be watching in each one of these games. Early on, Oklahoma State's Ollie Gordon and Kansas State's DJ Giddens makes that a great game for scouting running backs. Ole Miss and Michigan have some big-time talent on the defensive lines, and Wisconsin and USC both have some big-time offensive linemen to watch. USC's Jonah Monheim is slowly becoming my favorite center in the entire draft, and then Texas has a ton of draft-eligible talent. But then I've already talked about Georgia and Bama, but this Illinois versus Penn State game is going to be really fun to watch as well. Center Josh Kreutz, that's Olin Kreutz's son. He looked awesome last week. He's only a junior, and he does have one more year of eligibility remaining, but if he continues playing like he did last week, there is a chance he could come out early. But this is going to be an incredible test against Penn State's ferocious defensive line. They have two players that I think the Bears should be watching closely, defensive ends Abdul Carter and Danny Dennis Sutton, both capable of going high in the draft at defensive end, and also safety Kevin Winston Jr., another Penn State player I really like. And then finally, Ohio State is just loaded with talent in the trenches on both sides of the ball, and they have weapons all over the place. Quinshawn Judkins is one of my favorite runners in the country, and Ohio State is just an NFL draft factory. But that's it. Just wanted to quickly give you guys a rundown of today's best games and players to watch across the country. I'll be live with Greg Gabriel talking Bears football at 1 Eastern, noon Central. Stay tuned for that. Remember to hit the like button for me. And until next time, bear down.